Did Denny Hamlin speed off of pit road on Sunday at Darlington? Some sad news about a NASCAR Truck Series owner. And, well, if you like diecast cars, they just got more expensive. Welcome back to Break Hard. I'm Matt. It's Monday, and Bubba Wallace still did not intentionally wreck Kyle Larson on Sunday at Darlington, but that certainly didn't stop the internet from going all about their crazy conspiracies that, one, he spun out Larson to help out his teammate, that being Tyler Reddick, so he would have another shot at Ryan Blaney, or he did that so that Denny Hamlin would have a shot at winning, since he's his car owner. And then there's even the people that believe that Kyle Larson intentionally stepped on the brake to get hit by Bubba Wallace to spin out to give William Byron a chance to win the race, because everything's just going to line up perfectly like that and help him go on to win. No, there's no conspiracy around it. It was, in fact, an accident. Accidents happen all of the time, and that's what happened on Sunday. It's just unfortunate that it happened because it robbed Ryan Blaney of a win and then kind of set up everything else there that created this stupid little firestorm around it. So, moving into another conspiracy to end Sunday's race, there's a lot of NASCAR fans that believe Denny Hamlin sped off a pit road on the final pit stop Sunday at Darlington, and NASCAR just turned a blind eye to it like they were the cop in the town when they put on all those nun masks, and he's just like, nope, didn't see a thing here. I would like to continue to live. Yeah, no, NASCAR didn't turn a blind eye because Denny Hamlin did not speed coming off a pit road. Now, I get it, right? The speed over distance creates a bit of an illusion at time, or in some cases, a delusion, which certainly has an intersection that we're going to cross here for some parts of the fan base, and it makes it look like he did speed, but he didn't. Bozy posted the sector times, the speeds for Denny Hamlin at the end of that race, and in that final sector off of pit road where everybody thought he was speeding, he was going 47.79 mile per hour. NASCAR gave drivers up to 49.99 mile per hour. So for everybody doing math at home, that's 2 mile an hour underneath the limit there, so he was safe. In fact, the only spot he really got close to on pit road, he hit 49.5. So he flirted with that line, but he never went over said line. He just beat everybody off of pit road because his pit crew is incredibly good. They gave him 3 spots there at the end of the race. He goes on to win the race there, all thanks to that. He gained, basically by what Bozy said, about 0.4 of a second over William Byron. And that's how he ended up, beating Byron off of pit road and everybody else. So for Denny, there's no conspiracy around this. When you watch the onboard right here, everybody seems to think that he was speeding because of how fast he pulled away from William Byron. But that's the thing. Denny Hamlin was already at speed, right? Through where his pit box was located at, to pit exit right there, he had a clear shot and he was able to launch and get up to that 47.79 mile per hour right there, as William Byron, who was in the first pit stall, had to launch out of his pit box. And when Denny's going at speed at that 47 mile per hour and Byron is not, it creates this illusion that Denny Hamlin was speeding because he passed him so quickly, except he wasn't speeding, as we talked about already. So the internet certainly has a ton of conspiracies out there about it. At this point, I think that there should probably be a NASCAR conspiracy theory subreddit at this point. Obviously, if you've ever delved into the world of the R conspiracy subreddit, it's crazy. And I don't know if I necessarily need Bilderberg groups or anything with Bob Lazar to be on the NASCAR conspiracy side of things, but I'm certain there would be some wild conspiracies on there that would break our brains every single time. Also, if you hear any noise in the background here, we have a house guest for the next 3 months, and my assistant Ripken is rubbing his face on the ground right now because he gets excited when I do videos because he's not really ever been around for them. So if you hear anything, that's from him. Now, let's move on to some sad news from this past weekend. Shige Hattori, the owner of Hattori Racing Enterprises, has sadly passed away at the age of 61. On Saturday morning in Huntersville, North Carolina, he was driving in his 2025 Toyota Crown. He crossed over the center line and had a head-on collision with a 2024 Lexus SUV, and he was pronounced dead at the scene, which is really unfortunate. He was an all-around good guy. He passed away at the age of 61. He, of course, owned Hattori Racing Enterprises. He won the 2018 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, now NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship with Brett Moffitt. He also won multiple races with Austin Hill as well. I believe he won 14 races in his time as a Truck Series owner. He came over to the United States in 1995. He wanted to be an open-wheel driver. He got 2 wins in what is now the what is now the ARC East and West Series. He became a K&N owner in 2013, and he went on to start up a Truck Series team. I'm trying so hard to not let back. My goodness, is he excited? All right, thanks for that, Rifkin. Please, don't rip out the microphone. Here, I'm leaving all of this in. To it. Yeah, you're a very good boy. Okay, I know. I just want to be famous. I just want to be on the television. Okay, thank you. Apologies for all the heavy breathing if the microphone is picking it up. He is not a creep that is calling you to scare you and breathe into your phone like he's a Scream movie. He is instead just a very happy boy. He's an English lab, so if anybody's familiar with those, he's a big boy. Okay, back to Shige Hattori. Came a Truck Series owner, came over to the United States in 1995 to be an open-wheel driver, got 2 wins in what is now the Indy NXT Series, made 2 starts in the Indianapolis 500 before transitioning to that owner role. He's had a number of different drivers in his trucks, rather. That would be guys like Brett Moffitt. He had Austin Hill, Tyler Ankrum, also had guys like Eric Almirola, Bubba Wallace make starts for him. He dabbled in the Xfinity Series a little bit, and based on all the tributes, I never met the guy. Seemed like an all-around nice guy. Every time they talked to him, every time you would see him in the garage area, just kind of a happy-go-lucky seeming guy. Definitely had a great attitude. He's a racer at heart, and has unfortunately passed away at the age of 61. So some sad news coming out of the weekend for the NASCAR world. All right, moving into our last topic of the day. If you enjoy collecting diecast cars like this Kimi Räikkönen number 91 Trackhouse car, unfortunate news for you. Prices just went up. Thanks to the tariffs that have been instituted by the United States government, the prices of diecast went up once again. So, like everybody keeps talking about, Lionel continues to increase prices and decrease in quality and everything about it. The difference between that diecast and this diecast from 20 plus years ago at this point is wild. This is heavy. This is actual diecast. And now you're going to have to pay more. So a race win diecast, thanks to the tariffs, will now cost, it will go from $85 to $100. That is a pretty substantial climb there. So unfortunate for anybody that wants to buy a race win diecast. And then if you would like to buy an elite diecast, those are going up 29% from $120 to $155. Now, we don't talk politics on this channel. And if you post politics in the comments, it's going to get deleted every single time. I don't care what your thoughts are about the tariffs either way. If you're a collector that likes to collect diecasts, this is really unfortunate for you, and ultimately could really be bad overall for Lionel's business. Because as we've seen, if you follow the diecast world a little bit, I don't collect diecasts anymore, but I still see things get posted, especially on Reddit and everything like that. There's a ton of cars that never make it to production because they don't pre-sell enough of them to get there. Now, at a higher price point, there's going to be a lot less cars that make it to production. And ultimately, that's bad for Lionel because they're going to end up losing a ton of money over this. And who knows what the future of it is. And honestly, part of this is like a Lionel issue, right? Already, they've turned off a lot of customers just because the quality is poor at times, and the material that is made out of you're not getting what you used to for your money. And there's a lot of factors that go into that, definitely, for sure. But at the same time, when you're going to raise the prices again at a substantial amount, and not because they want to, let me be clear there. Lionel does not want to raise their prices, but they have to because, well, they're not going to be making the same profit off of them before. Having said that, yeah, they're still definitely making a profit, right? They are certainly going to make that. And there's something to be said that if the tariffs do go away, are they actually going to lower their prices back down? That remains up in the air. But I will say it's going to be a lot harder for them to meet the minimum requirement to make a diecast at these higher prices. So ultimately, it's a lose-lose for everybody. It's a lose-lose for Lionel. It's a lose-lose for the fans, and nobody wins in this situation. So if you're a hobbyist that enjoys collecting diecasts, it sucks. You're just going to have to start paying more if you do, in fact, like buying the diecast. I will say, for a lot of people, $120, they can justify that. It goes above $150, and that might be the mark, right? When you kind of get to those, whole and half amounts, that's where people kind of draw the line at. Like, oh, I'll spend $175 on this, but I won't spend $200. In this situation, I'll spend $120 on that, but there's people that won't spend $150 on it, and then you got to pay tax and shipping on top of that. So is it worth it? To some people, it will be. To others, it won't. At the end of the day, it just sucks to be a fan in the situation that is a diecast collector, because you're just going to have to shell out more money for a product that you're probably already not super psyched with. So let me know in the comments what you think about Denny Hamlin. Did he speed? Did he not speed? We clearly know that he didn't. Shige Hattori unfortunately passing away at the age of 61, and Lionel having to raise their prices. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok @BreakHard, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook @BreakHardBlog.